everybody, it's Debbie from Basket Case Mama Fat Finds, and I am here. Goodness gracious, looks like a wind tunnel blew through my office. It really didn't. It's just morning. And I'm here to do a what sold video for the month of May. And it was not pretty. It was not pretty. Now, I was out on vacation a couple times during the month. My store actually was on time away, even though it was, you could order stuff, I couldn't ship it till I got back. So there were, some underlying things, but truly the last 3 months, well, February wasn't bad, but March, April, and May have been pretty bad. And this month was bad compared to April, and April was bad. So I'm even going to show you a little of my back office to show you how bad, okay? But there were some good sales, and, I'm trying to be a little transparent. I have a lot of inventory, and, comparatively speaking to last year, this year's been really slow for whatever reason. And I'm kind of blow through because I actually have a doctor's appointment in a while. My alarm's going to go off in like 20 minutes, so I need to move it along. So let's see if we can do this. So the first thing that sold was this vintage Boy Scout patch from a Pennsylvania thing. It sold for $70 on auction, and you may have seen this last month as well because the buyer purchased a 2. He purchased it. I sent him the 1, and he was like, "Is this the one that was in the pictures? Because it looks different." And I was like, "Oh, I had 2. Let me see." So it wasn't the same one that was in the pictures, but it looked the same to me. But he returned the 1. I sent him the new one. We resolved. Well, I put the new one up for auction, and he repurchased it. Was how that worked. I sent him a refund. So I don't know the difference. He claimed that I think that this was closer and a little different. So that was the difference, the way the stitching was. But that mattered to him. So we resolved. But anyway, so it was $70 for this little patch. And this patch literally isn't very big. It was about 4 inches long by maybe 2 inches high. So don't overlook the patches. These are vintage, like lucite, little ball, grape-looking earrings, and they sold for $22. They were clip-on, so they're super cute. These are Tory Birch slides, flats with a rubber sole. Ignore my dog. We're babysitting the other dog, so my dog is in here with me, and she wants to be out there with her because it's breakfast time, and her breakfast isn't coming fast enough, apparently. Anyway, these were $35, and I did have them for a little while, since like November of last year. So this was a little American Greetings cat in a hat ornament, and it sold for $12.22. For some reason, it wouldn't let me bring up the original listing, so that's all you can get to see of it. But I've had it for about a year. This is a Warmies Heat Up sloth plush. It's microwavable, and it did sell for $21.22. This is a little K&M robin, and it still tweets. You see, it's pretty cute. And so it sold for $12. This one is a Red Fox by Wish Pads. And it's funny because Wish Pads is probably not like the biggest. The tag was still on it. This is what their tags look like. His name is Red. They're not like this. They're really not. They're nice. They're not like real super high quality. But every one I've had has sold, which is strange because I've had very better quality Jellycats and Stife and things like that are really. And some will sell fast. I have some vintage stuff that'll sell fast, and sometimes they take a while to sell because it's just the nature of Plus. But these guys, for some reason, they don't sell for a lot, but they sell every time. And since a lot of my stuff you can get plush usually pretty reasonably priced, depending on where you're getting it. So this sold for $15.55. So this one is some ornaments that I picked up last year at a yard sale, and these were 11 different crystal ones, and they were $25. These are Uniqlo. So sorry about that. We had an interruption. The dog food arrived. So these are Uniqlo women's 30-33 9-inch inseam hiking shorts, and they sold for $18.99 plus shipping. Everything I sell is plus shipping. Nothing is free shipping. These are Ed Hardy sneakers. They're low top, And no, they don't have any laces in them. I don't think they're really supposed to. They had like tattoo art on them, as you can see, and Ed Hardy there, and they were just like, they had the Ed Hardy on the back, but they did have a little, like, was coming off. Some snake skin stuff. They were size 8 women's, and they sold for $65. If the rate here on the screen is not what it actually sold for, I will, when I edit this, pop the actual sold for price up there, because sometimes it did sell on an offer, and sometimes it shows here and sometimes it doesn't. Depends on the day. So today, I don't know. But anyway, this was a Guy Harvey t-shirt. It was a 2X Marlin. It did have a little bit of fading on the bottom here. Like you can see here, I showed it in the pictures. It was just real faint fading. Like it was hung on a chair, a back of the beach chair or something. But anyway, I sold for $12.50, and I actually have another one that's new with tags in my store for a little bit more that hasn't sold. That's, I think, an extra large, so go figure. This is an Unique casual zip-up graphic hooded sweatshirt. I've had this for, I want to say, let me see, yeah, a long time, like almost 2 years. Look at up here, this is my number. So 3/13/24 is probably when I relisted it, like, and gave it a number, but $4.98 means it was here because I started selling in 23 as a reseller, and this would have been a very early on number, maybe June of 23. So I've had a long time. This is a pair of jockey extra large shorts. They were new with tags. They were large. I did put the measurement in here because I had bought them for my son for Christmas, and they were way big. So it's a 45-inch waist, which some shorts wouldn't be that big. So I want to make sure I let them know that. And, you know, because I bought them early, I couldn't return them, so I just put them up on eBay and sold them, and somebody got a deal. So this is a Mayim Organic Monkey Lovey Knots on the end. This is the tag. I'd not seen this one before, and this one sold for $10.99. This one, I do know what it sold for, and this I did show in one of my haul videos, is a Disney Classic Pooh blanket with the satin edge and the honey pot picture on it. There's the honey pot. It's kind of a waffle weave on the fabric, and this sells, I said sold for around $150, and it sold for $150 full price. And it took not long. I bought it in March, so 3 months. So if you see these out in the wild, definitely pick them up. This is a Korean War Army military ribbon. It sold for like $3. It sold on an offer. It's in not very good condition, as I put here, fair. There's glue here. You can see there's a little fray. The pin back is missing. It's not in great shape, but it did sell despite that. So, and because I have pennies into them, it was still a little bit of profit, so it's okay. This is a Blah Blah sock knit giraffe. It's got a rattle in it. It's got a little baby bluebird on his back. It's really cute. It's got a little hat on. I have never ever seen this brand before, but there's several of them out there. And this did sell for full ask, I believe, at $15. And it sold literally almost immediately. I listed on 5/2, and it sold days later. So who knew? That was something. I'll have to pay closer attention to how I price it next time, because I might have underpriced it. This is Nike men's board shorts. They have a Hawaiian print on them. They sold for $22.22, and I have had them for a while as well. I don't pick up board shorts anymore. I thought they were great, but you know, and some of them did sell. So this is again something I've had it for about 6 months. It's Northeastern Scale Dollhouse Mini Kit, spelled wrong too. Okay, it's the number. It's like a mini dollhouse for a dollhouse. So and it sold for, I believe, an offer on $40, and I'll put it up there. And this is a Japanese bluebird figurine, sold for $15 from the 1950s. It was really pretty. The colors were great. It was really, really pretty. I wish these things sold for a little more, but sadly they don't. Okay, this is a Hallmark Disney Mickey Mouse Gray Snuggle Up Lovey. And honestly, Hallmark, Disney combined sometimes can do very well depending on the thing. This just didn't have value. There's just a lot of them out there, which was so sad because he was in great condition. Look how cute he is. And it sold for $12. It did sell fast though, so you know, there's a good thing. This is a Carhartt t-shirt. It was an extra large tall with the Henley collar. Henley is this with the 3 buttons here. It's a crew neck, and it sold for $18.99. This is an Aurora large polar bear plush stuffed animal with tags, eco-friendly. It sold on an offer of $45 total with shipping. So that was what the person was able to do. So we worked it out. But so that was not too bad. And then this Uniqlo wool sweater is a marigold color, and it's like a mid-weight, and it's really great condition. There's a Uniqlo tag. I do pick up Uniqlo, but not everything. But this one did sell for, I believe, an offer on $49.88, but it was like still, I think, around $45. But again, I'll put it up there. Oh, sorry, let me pop this up really quick. So this I've had for a very long time. Again, 673 is the number. I'm up in the 4,000s now, like almost 5,000 items. So this is a Nike's pink polo zonal cooling performance. It's a bright pink color, and it sold for an offer on 14, probably around 12. This is a Christian Dior Monsieur necktie. Fouliard means it has like a repeating pattern on it. These are cute little like circle things. There's a Christian Dior Monsieur tag on there, and it is all silk, woven in Italy, made in the USA, which is pretty much what they all say on them. And this was some are made in Italy, like the Christian Dior. That's not Monsieur. Monsieur is like their ready-to-wear kind of brand of Christian Dior, so it's not quite as upscale as the others, but it's still very nice quality. And this one sold for $30. Now to show you the chart here. So my total sales for the month were what some people sell. Like some people sell $2,000 a week, and my whole month wasn't even 2,000. And to be fair, my business, I don't have a big web, eBay channel. I don't have a big following. I don't have, like, I'm not doing lots of other different things. I'm doing, a couple online cross postings. I do Whatnot, but I don't do well on Whatnot because I don't have a huge following like a lot of people do. So it's all, and I don't, it's not my favorite. So, but I'm still trying to do some stuff there to like clean out some inventory and see what I can do there. So, it is what it is. But this month, like I said, was abysmal. Now I was away for 3 days at the beginning of the month because it was my birthday, and I was away for like 10 days towards the end of the month because we were visiting my mother-in-law, and we were house hunting. So there were, my store was closed for 10 days then. But even at that, something else dreadful is going on with eBay because look at this, nothing for 4 days, 3 days, nothing between the 14th and the 20th. And I was away from the 14th, I think we left on the 14th. So the 14th to the 23rd is the day I came back. So then I had a really good day on the 31st. That was like my biggest day of the month. Well, the biggest day of sales for the month. I sold the most items. The most money sales were on the 20th, which is, I think that was while I was away. So it's just so strange. So this is like through June 4th. So I had a really good, like over the weekend, this past weekend, 7 things sold, which is not huge. I mean, people sell usually are shipping 15 things a day or something. That's a rare unicorn for me. That is not happening usually. And, I do all the things. So I can't explain it to you. I always check my prices. I always go back and look over things. I take things down and sell similar. Instead of relisting them, I'm conscious of, sell-through rates. And I do have a lot of stuff in inventory from early on where I was not conscious of sell-through rates. So I'm fully aware of that. And so I've been going through things and kind of lotting things up a little bit to get, to make them, maybe more palatable to the buyer. And that's a process just to do that. So there's things that are going on in the background that are constantly shifting things. And, I'm not complaining because for me, this is just helping me, kind of pay down debt and do those things, and it's not like my living. I don't need it to survive. I enjoy the opportunity to take care of some extra things that I wouldn't be able to take care of so easily otherwise. But at the same time, this has not been an exciting month, because then you see down here, like the selling cost of the shipping and the fees was literally pretty much almost half of that. Well, a little less than half, but let's say 40%. So what you sell, take 40% off that, and that's, for the whole month, it was $550, something like that. Is that right? Yeah, $550, $540 something. So yeah, that's not great for a whole month of sales, okay? Especially considering 170 and 150 was almost half of that, and that was 2 items. So it was a really, 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 really not good month for me. I was down 33% from last month, okay? And last month was a bad month. So I was down 33% from a bad month that was worse than the month before. It's insane. So I do know they're doing things in the background at eBay, and I know I'm not the only one, because I watch other resellers, and it is a common thread of complaining about this particular problem right now, and not really knowing what's going on. And so I'm hoping eBay gets it fixed. I'm hoping, this is like generally a kind of, like June and July are already rough months because people are vacationing. So they've killed some of the better months for us, and now we got 2 more not so great months coming. And I mean, we're always looking forward to fourth quarter, but holy crap, people, could you stop trying to fix what's not broken and just, do people not doing their jobs? Do your job. Your job is to help things sell on your platform so you can make money and we can make money. That's your job. That's your job. Goodwill's job is to, get things for free and sell them and make a profit of 100% on anything they sell. And instead, they're doing what? Not shows, and they're selling on eBay, and they're marking things up to the point they don't sell and sending them to the bins and charging more there, trying to eke out a profit so it doesn't all end up on a slow boat to China. And if you just did what you're supposed to do to begin with, everything would be so much simpler for everybody. But it's not what's happening. So we have to change the way we do things, and we have to, just be more diligent in picking up things that will sell quicker, picking up things that will sell for a good profit, doing, like I'm trying to do some of these videos just to get my information out to more people, so more people go check out my stuff and see things, because that helps. It's bad when eBay has the money to advertise but chooses not to, and they do a little, but honestly, and they're putting themselves in competition with Amazon when certainly they don't have to, because they do benefit from a few things there. And, so it's just an aggravation for that, and they're definitely not advertising at the same level. So, if you're going to do it, then do it. If you're not, then when you do advertise, make obvious the difference. Like, your difference is, a lot of the stuff is secondhand. I know there are people selling in in other countries, and the shipping's really expensive, but use what you got. Like, use the benefit of what you have, which is tariffs won't affect things that you're buying in the U.S. from the U.S. Shipping costs, you won't be affected as deeply if you're buying it in the area. And you can see these things, and you have the advantage of those things, and you can find anything that you're looking for just about on this platform that you could find on the other platform. So there's a huge opportunity for them to do that and make them stand out from instead of trying to push back against it, make yourself stand out different from it. And you're not going to find good vintage stuff there. You're going to find a lot of cheap stuff coming from places that are not well made. Here you're finding things that are vintage, that are really well made, that are so unique, things from your childhood memories. You can find them here. Your kid lost their lovey. You can find it here. The cat ate your kid's favorite plush animal. You can find it here. And instead of honing in on that opportunity, they're just all over the place. And I don't even really know who I do know who's in charge, because I've actually called his office once and talked to the secretary. But because I had a problem last year that was like this, and it was just something was wrong, and I knew something was wrong, and they claimed there wasn't. But after I talked on the phone, guess what? I didn't have any more problem. So there was something wrong, and I don't want to have to do that again, because this isn't just me though. Like before, it was definitely something was going on with me, and it might not have just been me, but it was. Now other people were doing great, and I was like nothing. So I knew something was wrong. So sometimes you just have to call. But they have a lot of bots. They have a lot of AI people. You know, I get all the things that they do and the reason they do them, the way they're trying to save costs and all these things. But they have such opportunities to make it better for themselves and enhance their sales and help enhance our sales. And it's like they're money grubbing for every little thing and trying to cut corners at every little thing. It's sort of like they're playing chess, only I play chess. Anybody else plays chess? Generally, when you play chess, to be a really good player, and I'm not a good player, by the way, but you have to be aggressive and you have to be on the offensive. You cannot play defense all the time and win at chess. Sometimes you have to be defensive, but mostly if you go from a defensive, protect your king and queen, kind of, you're going to lose. You can't play the game that way. Sometimes you have to, but you can't play the game and get to the other side of the board and capture the king in that thing. They cannot do offense, play defense, and just protect the money and not move forward and be aggressive in getting the sales, because if they don't be aggressive and get the sales and take them from the platforms that are picking at their profits, they're going to lose. And they're going to just keep losing sales because they're not doing anything to combat it. They have to become aggressive, get out there and fight for the sales and get them back, because they offer so much more than a lot of these other places do. They offer more to the sellers, they offer more to the buyers. They can get more sellers, they can get more buyers by being the aggressive person out there, showing the world what they have to offer and why they are the better option, that you're not going to run into some of the things you are going to run into on the other platforms that are problematic for both sellers and buyers. So there's a great benefit here. It is a different platform. They're dealing with sometimes with used items and sellers that are not doing the right thing, and buyers that are shady, and there's a lot of stuff like that needs to be policed, obviously, but that's true of any other place you're dealing to. So they just need to kind of get their stuff together and quickly, because it's very frustrating for those of us, because my work does not change. I'm working hard every day. My sales are affected by other people not doing what they're supposed to do, or doing what they're doing, not staying in their lane with what they're supposed to do. So it's very, very frustrating. But anyway, like I said, I'm grateful for every sale. I'm grateful for all the people that do buy things, and it's and honestly, all the frustration of it, it is a great and fun thing. I enjoy it a lot. It's always interesting. I learn a lot about different things, and it's such fun. I mean, I love it. I do love it. I just need to figure out how to combat the crazy things that impede it, and that's all. So, my job is just to keep plugging along and working around the obstacles that pop up. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it with your friends. Please, let everybody know that I'm out there and I'm trying to share some cool information with you. I do have some more haul videos coming up. I just posted one yesterday that I had it on for a while. It just took a while to get it out. And then I have 2 more or 3 more that are recorded that have to go up. And then I have a lot of stuff that I still have to record. So we're going to do some more of that this afternoon when I get back from my doctor's appointment. Nothing serious, just check up stuff. But for those that care. But anyway, so I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.